Hello everyone and welcome to aga-cad's webinar Framing with Structural Insulated Panels in Revit. My name is Eve and I am an architect and a BIM consultant here at aga-cad. We create applications for Autodesk Revit based on the needs of the world's leading BIM practitioners. We eliminate tasks that do not create value. We've developed the widest range of TrueBIM software in the world for Revit professionals, covering wood and metal framing, precast concrete design, and MEP system design. Today I'm going to talk about our BIM solution called Wood Framing SIPs. Wood framing SIPs makes wood framing with structural insulated panels, prefabricated building components for walls, floors, and roofs fast and easy. In this webinar, you'll see how to set up configurations and standards for creating multi-layer wall, floor, and roof frames with SIP panels, generate sheathing layouts by predefined configurations, also generate shop drawings and cut lists with all required views in which elements are dimensioned, sorted, tagged, and scheduled, and mass is calculated. As a result, you'll see a SIP panel project frame automatically in Revit. This framing technology automatically distributes all structural framing elements for walls, floors, and roofs and splits insulated foam core and structural sheet boards automatically according to predefined settings. Shop drawings and cut lists will be automatically generated, including all required views where elements are dimensioned, sorted, tagged, and scheduled, and also mass is calculated. And also I'd like to mention that now throughout August 15, you can get an exclusive deal on our BIM solutions for Revit. You can buy an annual license and get 6 more months added to your license for free. Okay, and now let's go into the live demonstration. I already have a project open in Revit, and you probably already know that before working with our framing solutions, you should have the model already created in Revit, and it should be created out of basic Revits, walls, floors, and roofs, also with openings added. The software will identify the categories of your openings, it will identify the joints, the geometry of your model, and it will distribute all elements based on your created model. So it's important that it would be created correctly. So I already have this model created, and there are a couple of things that you need to know before creating it. For example, one of the most important things is the structure. So if I would take a look at the structure of this wall in Revit, you can see that I have 7 layers. So that means that later I will be able to map 7 configurations, 1 configuration for each layer. So you can see these 3 layers will be creating the SIP panels. So these 2 layers are for the boards, and this one is for the frame that will connect the SIP panels and also for the insulation. And also I added some additional layers for nailers and sidings, just to show you that we can add other layers as well, but it's not mandatory. You can create only 3 layers for the SIP panels. And I have a very similar structure for the roof. So now the software also comes with the standard configurations and standard families. I already have all of the structural framing families loaded into this project. They come together with the software, so these families will be used in the configurations. And basically now, once I have the software, the families are loaded, and I have the configurations also. I can just select the walls and the roofs and start creating the panels. But before that, I want to quickly show you where the configurations are created. So basically, you need to create the configuration only one time. So you can save it using your own name and then modify everything that you can see right here below. So you can predefine what is the spacing between the connection studs, how openings are framed, whether you want to add kink studs or headers and sill plates, how the L and end connections should be framed. The software identifies all of these different types of connections. Also, you can add horizontal elements between the connection studs. So it all depends on you. Once the configuration is created, that's it. You can use it in the future projects. You can even place it on a server so all of your colleagues can use it. So right now the configurations are already created and they're also mapped in the wall link. So if I would click on the wall link, In the first three columns right here, you can see the structure of the wall that was created in Revit. And right here, I'm mapping the sample configurations, those rules by which all elements will be distributed. So I will actually start from the roof right now, and once I select the roof, you can see that it's just a basic roof in Revit, but I cannot frame a roof that is multi-sided with the software. So before framing the roof, I also have to split the roof, and we have an automated functionality right here under the rafters tab that will let me to split the roof automatically. Now you can see that a separate roof was created for each slope. And now I'll go to another view that I will use for framing. It's the same building, but all of the walls and roofs were transparent. And I will change the type of this single slope because I want to show you a different example of the rafter ends. So I'll create a vertical rafter end right here and a one that will look like this on all of the other slopes. So now that my roof is already split, basically that's it. Now I can just select all of these roofs in my model and click on Frame Roof. And so once all of the configurations are created and mapped to my roof, that's it. I could just click on Frame Roof and the tool will automatically distribute all elements that were predefined in the configuration. Okay, so you can see that for this slope that I changed the type, I have vertical roof end, and for all of the other ones, I have a different type with these soffit boards on the bottom. Okay, and it stands, this girder stands on the wall's top plate. You will see that once I will frame the walls. I will use align elements. And now I will just align these rafters between separate slopes. And also later when I will frame my walls, I will align all of the wall studs with the rafters. Okay, and that's it. Now you can see that they're aligned and it looks much nicer. So now what I'm missing also are the hips, the valleys, and the ridges. Under Insert Rafters, we have a rafter configuration where we can map elements like hips and valleys. So for the hip, I'm using this element for the valley, and this element I'm using for the ridge. So now I just need to click Insert All Hip and Valley Rafters, select the roof, and the configuration that I want to use. And that's it. You can see that the software just added all of these hips and valleys automatically. And now I would like to add all of the ridges. So 2 ridges will be added for this roof. Again, I'll select the configuration and that's it. You can see that it's automatically calculated based on the slope of my roof. And this one as well. Okay, so now that I've added all of the framing elements that I wanted to my roof, I can split the CLT panels. So for that, I will go to another view where I will see Revit part category elements because those boards and insulation parts will be created as a parts category in Revit. So we'll have to turn on the parts visibility. Yeah, so this is actually the view. I will see the parts here and I can select a single element from each slope or the slope itself and click on split parts. And now the tool will split parts for the boards and for the insulation. So you can see it's really fast. Once we have the configurations, everything is really fast. Okay, and that's it. You can see that these elements are created. So these are the top boards that you can see now. Also on the bottom, I have the bottom bars, and between these bars, I actually have an insulation layer. So we can try to isolate this element. Yeah, and you can see a SIP panel. It's already created. Okay, now I will reset this mode and I will go to another view that filters only the insulation part. And actually, I want to frame these parts as well because I want to add trimmers on the bottom and on the top of my panel. You can see I have a space here where they will be added. So for this, I will first of all go to Parts, Assembly menu, and right here I have a selection menu where I can select the parts by the layer in the whole roof. So I will do that. Yeah, it's really simple. I won't have to select them one by one. And now I'll just click on Frame Roof and that's it. Now the tool will frame each part and it will add one horizontal element on the top and one horizontal element on the bottom of my panel. And these elements will also be included into the assemblies of the SIP panels. Okay, so I can already see that it's done. And right now you can see that I have all of these horizontal elements added on top of these panels and also on the bottom, and they're cut correctly. Yeah, you can see in the whole roof. And for that different end type of my roof, you can see a higher trimmer was added on the bottom. Yeah, so it calculates the height by the width. Okay, so now, yeah, these are the panels, and I'm done with the roof, with the SIP panel layer. Now I'll move on to the walls, as I mentioned, and again, I can just select all of my exterior walls and click on Frame Wall. Okay, and that's it. You can see that all structural framing elements were distributed to the exterior walls of this building, so I still think that it's really fast compared to how much time you would waste doing this manually, and everything can be updated anytime. So now I will go to the view without the parts because I want to align all of these elements in the project. So I will open Align Elements window from the Wall Plus tool, and I will align studs with the rafters. So now like this, and the second floor as well. Okay, now you can see they're aligned. This side is already aligned, so I will move to this one. And you can also see when I'm aligning these slopes that the opening framing is different based on the opening size. So we can also create that in our framing configurations. The software will frame different sized openings differently. So you can see that here I have a larger opening and it has king studs, whereas these smaller openings don't have king studs. Okay, and this one is aligned as well. So only this side is left. And again, once I will align this side, you'll see that the top and bottom cripples for these openings will stand basically in the middle of the opening and not on the edge like this. Yeah, and that's it. Now you can see that everything is nicely aligned, except for this wall. Okay, I somehow missed this. Yes, so I can align it now. Okay, and now when all of these elements are aligned, I can split the SIP panels for the walls as well, because now I have the connection studs only. So again, I will go to this view where I will see the parts so I could see how they are created. And I will again select all of the walls, and I will split parts for them. Okay, and now you can see that it's done, and all of the elements for the walls were created. So I have the SIP panels created for the whole building. And again, let's take a look at the view with insulation parts only. You can see them between the studs that were previously aligned. Yeah, like this. And now also I will open another 3D view where you can see the parts cut. So yeah, these are the boards on each side. And this is the foam core, this is the wall stop plate, and on top of that I have a girder and the roof SIP panel. And also here I have an interior wall. So I will take this wall and attach it to the roof. So you'll see a different example how the wall can be attached to the roof. Right here we have a horizontal top plate and a sloped girder standing on top, but also the plate can be rotated by the slope. So I will quickly check the configuration that is mapped to this wall. I think it should be this one. Okay, and I will frame it. So I just want to show you a different type of connection. The software is created so that it would be very flexible to create any situation that you might need. And you can see that in this case I have a sloped plate, whereas in this one I have it horizontal and a sloped girder. Yeah, also we can see it in the section view. Okay, and now once I have all of the panels created, I can quickly show you that we can also frame other layers. So for the roof, let's say I will select all of these slopes, okay, without the parts. Yeah, so I could see the slopes, okay, and all of them are selected. And I will also add battens on top of the SIP panels. Okay, now you can see the battens are here. They will be added on top of the SIP panels. And now also I can select the roofs again. Actually, I could have done it in one step, but I just want you to see all of the individual layers. And I will add the roofing layer. So this will add the panels. Okay, and that's it. You can see that I have the panels, and now I can even add the cover types on these panels. So maybe I will add, where is it? Ridge gaps. Yeah, I will add all of the ridge gaps. Okay, so you'll see a ridge gap added here like this. It was also added on this slope as well. Yeah, so everything is really accurate. As you can see, it all depends on the families that are mapped in the configuration. And also I can add not ridge caps this time, but hip and valley caps. Yes, these ones between the hips and the valleys, between the slopes. Yeah, and you cannot see it very clearly here, but in another view you will see these gaps, and they are here as well. Okay, so now also let's take a look at what can be added on the walls. So for the wall, I can also add additional layers like let's say nailers. So vertical and horizontal nailers will be added to the exterior side of this wall as I mapped in the wall link, and later also I will add the siding. And then that's it. I will show you how we can create shop drawings and schedules for the SIP panels, because now you only saw the modeling part, but there's more to the tool. We can also push it to the documentation. And now I will add the siding. I have the siding, and that's it. We can distribute these elements throughout the whole building and it will be complete. Yeah, really fast. So now also I will go to the view where I have the installation again, because here it's more comfortable for me to select those parts. And before creating the shop drawings, I would actually like to number all of these elements, because then all of the framing member marks will be written in automatically by the software. So first of all, I will number the walls, number, or the roofs. It doesn't matter. Roofs and walls should be numbered first before all of the elements and the parts. And then I will number the walls. So the tool writes in a mark parameter value for all of the walls and roofs to my project. And all of the elements that are in this wall, like structural framing elements and parts, they will know in which wall they're located. So they will see their host member mark. And now I can number the parts for the walls, let's say. So now all of the SIP panel boards and insulation parts were numbered. And finally, I can number the elements. So all of the structural framing elements in this project will be numbered. You need to use this functionality only one time after the framing is complete, and it will write in those parameter values. It will fill them in for all of the project. That's it. And now I will number the parts of the roof. So again, all of those SIP panel boards and insulation parts, and then the numbering, the elements. So the rafters, the trimmers, the hips, the valleys, the roof elements are numbered. So now, for example, if I would select this stud from the wall, you can see that all of these parameter values were filled in automatically. So this stud knows that it's located in wall number 4. It knows the cut length, that it's a vertical stud number 1, and also it could know the CNC part, name and number values, but I removed them so that the numbering process would be faster. But if you are exporting to CNC machines, you can number them automatically as well. And here you can see that the part was numbered. It knows that it's an insulation part. And also, if I would go to this view, yeah, you can see if I would select this front board, also it knows that it's an exterior panel, number 8, let's say. And if we would take a look at the same part and select an interior panel, I have an IP instead of EP for interior and exterior. So all of these values will be visible in the schedules and in the shop drawings. Okay, so now, first of all, I will create a panel for one element first. So I will select, let's say, this part, okay, or the insulation one, and I will open the part assembly menu because I'd like to create the assembly for the parts, for the SIP panel, and not for the whole wall. Okay, and I will create the part assembly. Also, we have the sample configurations for the shop drawings as well. So in those configurations, we can predefine what kind of views and schedules will be created automatically. That's it. The tool just created an assembly, and let's take a look. We have one assembly for this panel, and you can see that this is a panel in the wall number 5. This is the one. And all of these views and schedules were just generated automatically. So I have this 3D view of the panel. I have the assembly back view. You can see that it was automatically dimensioned and also tagged. I also have the assembly front view, the assembly plan detail view. Yeah, you can see the exterior panel, the interior panel, and also the insulation. Everything is dimensioned. And the details section view is also here. And then we have the schedules where all elements are calculated. So you can see here I have the insulation and 2 panel boards. Yeah, like this. And the premium member start marks are here as well. So now once I have all of these views and schedules created, I also have one sheet, and I can create only the first sheet, and then the next ones will be generated automatically for me. So let's say that right here I will add a 3D view. Then I will also add an assembly front view, also the detail section view right here, and then I will add the plan detail right here, and also the material takeoff and the part list will be added here, let's say. And now I can go back to the drawing configuration, and I can see that I want to use this sheet as a template for all of my future sheets. And that means that the software will generate all of the other sheets automatically based on this one. So I will see that this one will be used as a template. Save it. And that's it. Now I can just create all of the other assemblies for other panels automatically. For example, let's go into that view again, this one, and I will open the parts assembly menu, and I could actually select all of these parts from a wall, from a single wall. Now you can see 10 parts are selected and create all of these shop drawings. But I don't want to waste your time, so I will just select maybe this one. Let's see this smaller one, so that you would see a difference, and I can create an assemblies for these. So 2 assemblies will be created for these parts, and now not only will I have all of those schedules and drawings created automatically with dimensions and tags again, but I will also have those sheets with the layouts created automatically for me based on the template that I predefined in the shop drawing configuration. Okay, and now you can see that I have this assembly, let's say, of the smaller panel. And now again, I have the 3D view. I have the assembly back view, the front view. So again, all of the same things, but this time I also have a sheet. So previously we generated this sheet manually, and now for this smaller panel, this sheet was generated automatically. And that's it. So I don't have to generate them again and again. And now also I have a few interesting ones in the roof. Let's see what this opening or this trapezoid one. So just really quick, I can also show you that we can create these assemblies for the roofs. So again, I will open the parts assembly menu, and I will, for example, select this part with the opening and this one. Okay, I'm not sure if I was successful. Yes, it's okay. Create part assembly. Okay, the assemblies are created, so we can take a look. Right here, you can see I have assemblies for the roof. So the first one is with the opening, and you can see that I have those trimmers added, as I mentioned, because I framed the parts of the roofs on the top and on the bottom as well. I also have the assembly front view where all elements are automatically dimensioned. You can modify the dimensioning rules. Also the assembly section view, the top view, the bottom board view, and the top board view. And finally, again, we have the schedules where trimmers are calculated. Also, the panel and the installation parts are here with the sort marks that were written in automatically and the framing member mass. And I have another one of the triangular panel. So again, it's here and everything was created automatically for this panel as well. Okay, so I think that it's all that I wanted to show you today, but don't run away, those of you who had questions. I will answer them shortly. And I'd also like to mention that we have a paid trial of the software. To properly access the software, you'll need sample families, configurations, and personal training with one of our engineers. For that, we offer a paid trial that includes Revit project with sample families and configurations for designing SIP structures, also personal online training to answer all of your questions, and 30-day software trial with technical support. This cost will be deducted from the product price if you will decide to purchase it. And then I'd like to thank you everyone who attended this webinar. I hope you found out something new and beneficial, and I also hope to see you in our future webinars. Have a nice day.
aga-cad, building BIM together.